This is a family pack of sushi that I got. During a stop Mom made at our local Wegmans. After dropping Dad off at his place, Dad drove from Philadelphia all the way to his place. A roughly 6-hour drive. With one stop towards the last half hour of the drive. Right before we got to the city, where Dad lives, and sometime after we crossed state borders, we made a stop during the last half hour at the last half hour, around the last half hour of the drive from Philadelphia to Dad's place, because I felt that I should go to the bathroom. It wasn't an emergency at the time, but my bladder felt full at the time. This being after having plenty of coffee and some water. Both in the hours prior to the start of the drive back home. And during the drive back home. As I recall, right before we left, Philadelphia. We made a stop at a Starbucks there. And ended up getting some coffee. We brought my sister from Philadelphia to where I live. Coffee beverages were gotten for me, my dad, and my sister. I opted for plain coffee while I recall my dad and my sister getting some stuff in their coffee beverages. I recall my dad got caramel in his beverage, while my sister got some Venti stuff in hers. Yeah, I recall during the car ride from Philadelphia to back home, falling asleep roughly from 2:15 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. or about an hour. I recall today generally being overcast and rainy at times. I got this sushi during a stop Mom made at the local Wegmans by her place. During the time she was driving from Dad's place to her place. after we got at Dad's place, I helped my dad to bring some stuff in, his stuff into his house. The stuff he brought for the trip to Philadelphia. To pick up my sister. And bring her home for Thanksgiving. And my sister spent about 15 or so minutes being given a tour of Dad's house. Which is where I stay most of the time. But not all of the time. At one point I showed my sister the Satchel Sort polystyrene ball drawing project. And she liked seeing it. Within my upstairs room. Afterwards, and I only had to briefly help my dad to bring his stuff into his house. Before Mom took over. My mom took over driving. Her car was used for all four of us this whole time. We made the stop at Wegmans. Me and my sister. In order to get some gluten-free food. And sushi. As well as some brie cheese. I recall getting up for today roughly around 8:15 in the morning. And I recall us checking out of our hotel museum room. This casino hotel. And then I recall roughly from 9:10 in the morning to about 10 in the morning at the latest, having breakfast at the Prime Rib, a restaurant within the casino part of the live casino hotel. Though I didn't film it at the time, I just took pictures because I felt having breakfast at a place that primarily serves steaks and whatnot for breakfast wouldn't really be doing that place justice. And so I just took pictures, and I got 2 eggs over easy with sausage, pork sausage, and home fries with ketchup, and all that with rye toast with butter that were shaped to be little balls. And then Dad also got rye bread, and he swapped his for mine after buttering his. I recall the rest stop we stopped at the last half hour of the drive from Philadelphia to Dad's place. The rest stop we stopped at seemed to be some kind of to have some kind of convenience store that also had some kind of food court area with Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm not quite sure at this time what the other store was. Restaurant attached to that food court area. And the convenience store part of that rest stop, the building by the rest stop area, also sold some merchandise promoting the state that we crossed while driving from Philadelphia to back home, such as coffee mugs. While at the rest stop building, my sister had my dad buy a bag of some kind of chips or something that are both kind of shaped like pea pods, and are supposed to taste like them. She shared a smallish amount with both me and my dad. And they do kind of taste like peas, but only a little bit, not to the extent of actual peas. They are mildly good, though. I recall roughly from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. placing an order for pizza from Mark's Pizzeria, our local Mark's Pizzeria, a medium gluten-free pizza with pepperoni and banana peppers, and a medium regular pizza, meat lovers, through my phone. And then Mom picking up the pizza rather than it being delivered to us, as is usually the case. As at the time, the Mark's Pizzeria location was pretty close to their closing time. Though as of this time, I haven't had any of the medium meat lovers pizza or the gluten-free pizza, as I decided to have the sushi instead for dinner, as that'll go bad sooner. It becomes noticeably less fresh after a day in the fridge, which isn't the case for pizza generally, whether it be in the fridge, as our pizza is currently. Both of the medium pizzas we got, the gluten-free and the meat lovers, or whether that pizza is out in the open within the original packaging or not.